The evening in South Korea was electric as the Lotte Giants prepared to face the Samsung Lions in a matchup that carried weight far beyond the regular standings. Fans had filled the stadium hours before the first pitch, eager to see how these two storied franchises would clash under the bright lights of the KBO League. From the very beginning, the crowd's energy could be felt. Every chant, every drumbeat, and every wave rolling across the seats built anticipation for a showdown that promised drama, skill, and passion. For the Lotte Giants, this was an opportunity to prove their resilience, while the Samsung Lions sought to extend their winning momentum and solidify their place in the standings. The first inning opened with tension thick in the air. Lotte's starting pitcher wasted no time establishing his dominance, firing strikes with pinpoint precision. His fastball was alive, cutting through the air, while his breaking ball left the Samsung batters guessing. Each swing carried the weight of expectation, but the pitcher's control dictated the pace. Samsung, however, is never a team to be underestimated. Their leadoff hitter stepped into the box with confidence, working the count and forcing the pitcher to reveal his arsenal early. The crowd held its breath on every delivery, erupting in cheers at even the smallest foul ball. It was clear from the start, this game was going to be a battle of willpower as much as skill. As the innings progressed, both teams showcased brilliant defensive plays. Diving stops in the infield, laser throws from the outfield, and strategic pitch calls from the catchers kept the score low. Each side was determined not to give an inch, understanding that one mistake could decide the outcome. The tension simmered with every out. By the third inning, the Giants began to threaten. Their cleanup hitter stepped up with 2 runners aboard, and the atmosphere inside the stadium turned electric. Every fan leaned forward, knowing this was a potential turning point. The pitch came in, a crack of the bat sent the ball soaring deep into left field. Gasps echoed, only to turn into roars when the ball dropped just short of the wall for a double, plating the first 2 runs of the night. Samsung's dugout didn't flinch. Their players immediately rallied around one another, clapping, shouting encouragement, and preparing for their response. This was not unfamiliar territory for the Lions, who have built a reputation on resilience. In the top of the fourth, the Lions showed why they are one of the most feared offenses in the KBO. A sharp single through the infield put a runner on, followed by a perfectly executed hit and run. Suddenly, runners stood at the corners, and the pressure shifted back onto the Giants' pitcher. The Lions' veteran slugger stepped in, and with a swing as smooth as silk, he launched a line drive into the gap, tying the game. Momentum is everything in baseball, and the Lions had seized it. Their fans, scattered throughout the stands, roared louder than ever. Banners waved, and chants of encouragement filled the air. For a moment, it felt like the stadium belonged entirely to the Lions, even though the Giants' faithful refused to back down. The middle innings were a chess match. Managers on both sides made careful pitching changes, calling for bunts, and shifting defensive alignments. Every decision was amplified by the closeness of the score. A perfectly timed double play in the 5th brought Giants fans to their feet, while a diving catch by a Lions outfielder in the 6th drew gasps and applause even from rival supporters. By the 7th inning, the scoreboard still reflected the stalemate. Each pitch grew heavier with meaning, each swing carrying the weight of potential glory or disappointment. Fans could hardly sit still, their nerves stretched thin by the back-and-forth tension. Then came the breakthrough. In the bottom of the 7th, the Giants' young star, a player known for his fearless approach, stepped into the box. With 1 runner on, he attacked the very first pitch, sending it screaming into the right field stands. The stadium exploded. Flags waved, drums pounded, and the Giants suddenly had the lead once again. But the Lions were not done. Baseball is a game of 9 innings for a reason, and Samsung made sure to remind everyone of that. In the 8th, they loaded the bases with a combination of patience and clutch hitting. Their cleanup hitter faced the pressure with calm eyes, and on a 2-2 count, he delivered, a sharp single up the middle tied the game once more. As the game entered the 9th inning, every fan inside the ballpark understood that they were witnessing something special. Neither team was willing to surrender. Pitchers bore down, hitters fought off difficult pitches, and defenses refused to make mistakes. It was the kind of game that embodies the very soul of baseball, tense, dramatic, and unpredictable. In the bottom of the 9th, with 2 outs and the winning run at second base, all eyes turned to the Giants' veteran hitter. He had been through countless battles in his career, and his calm presence brought hope to the home crowd. The pitcher delivered, the bat connected, and the ball shot down the right field line. The runner rounded third, the throw came in, but it was too late. The Giants had walked it off in dramatic fashion. The stadium erupted into chaos. Players rushed the field, fans leapt from their seats, and the air was filled with uncontainable joy. It was more than just a win, it was a statement, a reminder that the Giants still had the heart, the fight, and the passion to compete with anyone in the league. The Lions, despite the loss, walked away with their heads held high. They had battled to the very last out, showing grit and determination that reflected the championship pedigree of their franchise. Their fans applauded them warmly, knowing this was not the end but just another chapter in a long season. What made this game unforgettable was not just the final score but the journey to get there. The back-and-forth battle, the defensive gems, the clutch hits, and the emotional swings created a masterpiece of KBO baseball. It was the kind of night that fans would talk about for weeks to come. Even after the final out, the celebrations continued. Giants fans sang their team's songs in unison, their voices echoing long after the players had left the field. Children waved flags, elderly fans clapped along, and the stadium pulsed with pride. For the Giants players, this was more than just another game. It was proof of their progress, evidence that their hard work and unity could translate into magical results. For the Lions, it was a reminder that every game in this league is a test, and that even in defeat, they carry the respect of their opponents. Baseball in Korea has always carried a unique energy. From the choreographed fan chants to the non-stop drumming, it is an atmosphere unlike any other. Nights like this showcase why KBO continues to capture the imagination of fans around the world. It is not only about wins and losses, but about the shared emotion of the journey. As the stadium finally began to empty, the echoes of the night lingered. Conversations buzzed about the young stars' home run, the Lions' eighth-inning rally, and the final walk-off. Fans replayed the moments in their minds, cherishing the experience. This was the beauty of KBO baseball, unpredictable, thrilling, and deeply human. Every inning told a story, every player carried a dream, and every fan walked away with a memory. The Giants may have celebrated victory, but both teams contributed to a game that elevated the sport. In the end, what mattered most was not just the highlight reel plays, but the feeling in the air, the unshakable sense of connection between players and fans, between rivals and teammates, between victory and heartbreak. For anyone watching, whether in the stands or from afar, the Lotte Giants vs Samsung Lions clash on September 16 was more than a game. It was a reminder of why baseball remains timeless, a sport where anything can happen, where heroes rise under pressure, and where the drama of competition creates unforgettable nights. And as the lights dimmed, as fans carried their voices into the night, one truth became clear: this was not just another chapter in the season, but a story etched into the proud history of KBO baseball.